Hey, Divi Nation, thanks for stopping by the documentation to learn all about Divi's portfolio module. So the portfolio module is the obvious choice that we've provided for how to display your artwork, your use cases, your case studies, or any work that you want to show off to the world. And we're going to show you how to add portfolios of different types to your website using the portfolio module, and of course, how to customize them using Divi's built-in settings. Check it out.
In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of Divi's portfolio module. The portfolio module makes it really easy to show off your work anywhere on your website by displaying your most recent projects in either a grid or a standard fashion. You can also choose which items you want displayed by their category. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this portfolio module. First thing I'm going to do is show you how easy it is to add to your page, and then I'm going to take you through some of the settings available to you. Let's get started. Using the Visual Builder, I'm going to hover over my portfolio module here, and I'm going to click the erase or delete button there. Now I have a business layout here that I'm using with a regular section and then a one column row, and in that one column row I'm going to add my portfolio module. I'm going to go ahead and click the add new module icon there, do a quick search for the portfolio module, and then click it. Now as it loads up, you'll see by default it gives you a full width layout here, and the images that are being used here are probably not quite wide enough, so they're going to look a little blurry. That's because they were built for a grid layout, but it's always best practice to make sure that your featured images that you're using for your portfolio or your projects, I should say, make sure that they are at least the width of your content area, something like 1080 pixels or something like that. So let's go ahead and set some of these settings up to get it looking correct. Normally I would start with the content tab to go over some of these settings with you, but really quickly I'm going to go to the design tab here, and I'm going to go to this first section called layout, and I'm going to switch it to grid just so we can see what we're looking at a little bit better. Alright, so as you can see right out of the box with one little click of the mouse, I have a fully functional portfolio ready to be used. Of course, it may need some design, further design to match your site with typography and maybe some of the colors here, but as you can see, it looks pretty good right from the beginning. And if I hover over it, you'll see this green icon shows up, and this color actually is being pulled from my global accent color from within Theme Customizer. So if you want to make sure that that's being pulled in from the default, or wondering where to go to, edit that, you need to go to your Theme Customizer. And so let's go ahead and check out some of these other settings. In the Content tab now, if I go into the Content section, you can see that I can limit the number of posts to be displayed on my portfolio here. Right now, it's set to the default, which basically doesn't put a limit on your posts. So I'm going to actually put one. I'm going to put 8. Now, when it's referring to posts, I just want to remind you that this is being pulled from your project posts, not your general posts. So if I go to the back end of the site, for example, and I look at my navigation bar in the WordPress dashboard, you can see I have a section for projects. It's going to pull from these posts here. Let's go back. All right, so under my content tab, I'm limiting my post to 8, and so that looks nice. And you can see that once I did that, a little pagination link here to click to see the older entries pops up, so I can go ahead and link back to the other ones that aren't being displayed. All right. The include categories, this would be If you want to target certain categories to display on your portfolio, maybe you want one page dedicated to branding items, you can just click on branding. It will only show those items. And of course you can do the same with any of these categories. By default, it's going to list them all, but you can customize it however you want. All right, I'm just going to make sure they're all checked for now. Continuing on, the elements section here allows me to show or not to show the title, the category, and also the pagination within my module here. The title refers to this header right here, this text right below the featured image, and then right below the title are the categories. So I can choose to, if I toggle no to show title, you can see that only my categories are now showing. And of course, if I choose to hide my categories, you have a nice clean layout with just your featured images here. And I can also hide pagination as well. For now, I'm going to put all of those elements back, and let's continue on. The background refers to the individual project backgrounds here. So if I were to change it to like a gray, for example, you'll see that there is a background that's applied behind the text element there. All right, I could, of course, put whatever color I want there if I needed to. Let's go on to our Design tab. The first option under Design tab is the layout, which we already changed from full width to grid. The overlay, this allows me to give my portfolio items a custom zoom icon color and also hover color, along with a individual or unique icon here. Right now, the zoom icon color is going to default, as I said before, to your global accent color. And right now it is set to this green, which of course looks pretty good with the current page that I'm on. So I'm going to keep it green. The overlay color is this color that goes over your featured image when you hover. Right now it's this kind of white with an opacity to it. But of course, if I wanted to change it, to something else, I could do that. The hover icon picker is gives you the ability to change this little plus icon to whatever it is that you want. Also, this image section here has more options available to further customize the look of your image on your portfolio. You could, for example, give your image a box shadow. You could also customize that box shadow with, all of the different blur strengths, spreads in the vertical and horizontal positioning, things like that. I'm going to leave my box shadow alone for now, keep it out. I could also add an image border as well. Right now, the image border width is set to 0, but if I took that up to, let's say, 3 pixels or something, and I could also change the border style to, I don't know, dotted lines or something. That wouldn't really fit this design, but you get the idea. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of our border, and let's continue on. The text section here allows me to toggle my text color from dark to light. If I had a darker background, this would make sense, but right now I'm going to keep it dark. The orientation, this is pretty convenient. It aligns all of my text within my module to be centered if I want, or left aligned, or right aligned. I like the centered look, so I'm going to keep that. Text shadow as well is an option. Also, you can change the title text specifically. That would be this one right underneath the featured image. If I wanted to, let's say, give it a matching font. Right now my font is Montserrat. So if I do a quick search, I can go ahead and match that font with my website. Maybe giving it a semi-bold and change the text size to like a 26 maybe. I like the color of that dark text color, but maybe I want to increase the line height to give me some more space between my image and my categories there. So increase that a little bit. And then continuing on, my meta text, this refers to the categories that are displayed underneath the title there. I could go ahead and match my font size. Notice that I now have my Montserrat there as a recent since I just used it, so that's pretty easy to go ahead and customize by selecting my font there. And if I want to make that a little bit bolder, I actually like it semi-bold. And then I like the size. I'm going to keep that. And that looks pretty good. Maybe decrease the line height of my categories there. The pagination text, this refers to this little link down here that says older entries. It allows me to click back to my older entries there. I could change that to match my other fonts. And maybe if I wanted to make sure everyone knew that was a link, I could, make it underlined or something. Continuing on, the sizing refers to the entire module here. So if I wanted to decrease that a little bit and then align it centered or something, I could make it smaller. I'm going to go back to my default there. I could add some, margins and spacing for my module here. Could also add a border to my portfolio items here. So this will add it to my individual items, not the entire module. So if I just to show you, if I increase the border width there, you can see that the border is being applied to my individual portfolio items. I would probably need to go back and give my category some more, or my meta text, I should say, some more line height so that it doesn't, look so squished together. But you get the idea. All right, now I'm going to get rid of this border. And I'm going to continue on here. The box shadow, of course, can be applied to the entire module right here. And any animation to the entire module can be applied right here. The Advanced tab allows me to add a unique CSS ID or a CSS class to use, maybe in conjunction with an external style sheet to go ahead and style these elements that way. You could also choose to add some inline CSS to any of the elements within this module, so you can target it that way. That way you don't have to use an external style sheet to add any of the more advanced custom CSS code. So that's convenient. And of course you can choose to disable this module on phone, tablet, or desktop. All right, make sure I save my settings. And let's go ahead and check out our portfolio module. If I click on it, it will take me right to my portfolio page there, showcasing whatever I want it to. All right, let's go back. And that is our overview of the portfolio module.